I'm Steve Tassi, the board game guru, and in one of my earlier videos, Dorm Room Hero, I mentioned dexterity games as a genre, and one game in specific, Menara, that got some attention on that video, and so I thought that I would talk to you about it in a little more detail. Here it is, Menara, by designer Oliver Rickberg and publisher Zaxxum Spiele. Menara is a cooperative dexterity game. Players are working together to build an ancient temple. They do so using a combination of colored pillars and floor tiles with various colored spots on them. They also use construction challenge cards, which will look something like that, or that, or that. Like all good cooperative games, Menara allows you to scale the difficulty depending on how much of a challenge you want the game to be. The scalable difficulty comes in two forms in this game. Number one is the minimum number of floors required to win the game. Number two is how many pillars each player has in their hand on their turn. The more floors you have, the more difficult, but the more pillars you have, the easier it is. So you can create a blend of challenge levels by adjusting those two features. Players first set the difficulty level by deciding how many floors the tower must be in order for them to win. A challenging game is 5 floors as the starting minimum. Now, this number is going to change over the course of the game. As you make mistakes, your minimum height requirement will increase. So by starting at 5, I'm already giving myself a bit of a handicap. We lay out 5 these blank challenge cards to indicate these are the minimum floors required. Place 3 random floor tiles at the center of the table in such a way that they are touching each other. Take this thing, this is called the camp, set it aside and put 6 random pillars in it. The camp is a way for players to move pillars from one person to another and help ensure that players have the colors that they need to successfully complete a turn. Each player will then draw a number of random pillars from the bag. Exactly how many depends on the difficulty level you want and how many players are in the game. Since I'm playing this solo and I want a difficult game, I'm going to draw 6. Then we have the set of challenge cards. The challenge cards come in 3 difficulties: blue for easy, yellow for medium, and red for advanced. It is entirely possible that on your early turns you will not be able to accomplish the cards that you draw from the red pile. So I recommend that you avoid the red pile for the first couple of turns. The rulebook gives you a handy little guide telling you what cards you are going to find in each of the 3 different piles of challenge cards. On your turn, the first thing that you can do is swap any number of your pillars for an equal number of pillars from the camp. Right now, the camp and my hand look pretty similar, so I'm not going to bother. And then you reveal a challenge card from your choice of decks. Now, this is a cooperative game, so other players will have input into which pile you should draw from, but it is your decision which one you want to draw. I will get the ball rolling with an intermediate challenge card. Okay, so this one's fairly easy. It is add 2 pillars anywhere into the structure. So I will add 1 here and 1 here. Pillars must match the colored spaces on the floor tiles that you're putting them in, and they must be contained completely within the colored circle. You cannot have a pillar that escapes its colored zone. The last thing you do on your turn is fill your hand back up to its limit. Next turn, I will do another intermediate. Still don't want to swap anything. Here we go. So this one means 2 pillars on the same floor tile. So I will do that one and that one. And then I draw new pillars. All right, I'm going to draw an easy one. Place a single pillar. I will do that, like so. Take a new one. All right, now I'm going to try a hard one and see what we get. Sometimes the hard ones aren't so hard. Place 2 pillars. I will place a red one over here, and I will place a yellow one here, and take 2 new ones. All right, let's try another hard one, shall we? Okay, so this one means move a floor into a higher position, including all the pillars that are on it. So fortunately, I have this nice strong base of 4 pillars, so I'm going to take this floor and move it up like so. Now I didn't play any pillars that turn because of the challenge card, so I don't draw any new pillars. Let's go with an intermediate card. Okay, another one of place 2 on the same plate. Now I can't currently do that because each of the plates either only has 1 open spot or has a colored spot that I can't fill because I don't have the right kind of pillar. So I am going to fail this challenge. When you fail a challenge, that challenge card becomes a new minimum floor. So now my tower has to get to 6 floors high. I do have to do as much of the challenge as I can, so I'm going to place that there, but because I could not place the second one, the challenge has failed. I do fill my hand, and now I will take an easy one, place 2. Okay, so I can place this one here. Because I've filled the last spot on a floor tile with a pillar, I must now add a new floor tile to the structure. You take the top one off the random pile of floor tiles and you place it either on top of pillars that are already in play, or if you want to, if it's too difficult to do that, you can make another ground floor tile by placing it in such a way that it touches at least 2 tiles that are already on the ground floor. But by doing that, you are committing to a new extra floor level. So if I were to do this, I would then take this card and place it here to be another floor. I'm not sure that I'm going to do that yet. Let's give this a try. I'm going to see if I can balance that like so. I can. Okay, so no new minimum floor requirement needed. And now I have to place my second pillar, because that was just placing 1 pillar. So I'm going to place this one here. And that's my challenge card completed. Fill my hand back up. I am just not getting any white pillars. This is a problem. All right, let's go with another easy one. Place a single pillar. Done. And now it's in, pull out a new one. Okay. All right, let's go with this one. Place 3 pillars. Wow. I can't fit the white ones because I have no white pillars, but there is one empty yellow spot down here underneath. So I'm going to scooch this in, and that is one, and that is now a filled floor tile, which means it's time to add a new one. And this is showing two white masks, therefore I have to play this the white side up. It is double-sided with a dark side and a white side. I have to place the white side up. Let's see if I can make that stay. Okay, so now I need to place two more pillars to complete my challenge. That looks sturdy-ish. And we'll go with that. But this one is a failure, so it's going to go over here, and now I have to get to 7 high. Now, good news is that every time you are forced to add a new minimum height to your tower, you get to change the camp. So I'm going to take all 6 of these right now useless pillars from the camp, and I'm going to replace them with 6 brand new ones, hoping to get some white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I put the old ones back in, give it a mix. So I did succeed in getting a white one. The game comes to an end in several possible ways. Way number 1, part of the tower collapses. That immediately ends the game, but doesn't necessarily mean that you have lost. Another way that the game can end is if you've used all the challenge cards. You don't have to have successfully used them all, but if there are no more challenge cards left, game's over. Similarly, if someone can't fill their hand back up to their hand limit from the bag of pillars, the game is over. Even if players still have pillars in their hands or there are still pillars in the camp, if you can't draw the right number of pillars, then the game is over. And lastly, if you've placed all the floor tiles, the game will come to an end. So all of those things are end conditions, but the victory condition is, do you still have the minimum number of floors required? So even if part of your tower collapses, you might still win the game if that was sort of a side ancillary part of the tower. Right now my tower has 1, 2, 3, 4 floors on it. The ground floor does not count. That's floor 0. I need 7. So I need to get 3 more floors out of this tower in order to qualify for a win. Let's see how I do. I just lost Menara. Menara is for 1 to 4 players. It's a fantastic stacking game. It has a number of similarities to an older game called Via Paletti, which did win the Spiel des Jahres. Sadly, it is out of print right now, but Menara is not. So if you want a cooperative version of Via Paletti, then Menara is your good choice. And if you want an available game that's like Via Paletti, well, Menara is what you get. It does have expansions. I have not played with them, so I cannot tell you what they add to the game, but they are out there. So if you get tired of the base game, there is a place to go. I myself have played this game around 60 times, maybe more. Still have not gotten tired of just the base game experience. I love this game. And if you like stacking games like Junkart, Riff Raff, Via Paletti, Suspension, Go Cuckoo, anything like that, then this game is for you. I'm Steve Tassi, the Board Game Guru, and I'll be back with another video soon.